Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Andrea, and I'm just gonna do a disclaimer right now before I start my recap is that I'm absolutely so sorry that it's on my webcam again this week. I know you guys see like my other videos here is like, why are you using your nice camera for that and not for these videos? I'm going out of the country for a long time, so I'm pre-filming videos, and I only have one memory card right now, so it's like full and I'm editing and things are just hectic, and I really like depend on doing my Vampire Diary recaps for you guys. I like having those out and ready for you guys, so if this is the way for me to do that, I'm sorry, and I hope you guys aren't mad at me. I'm just like, let's just pretend they're Throwback Thursdays. I used to always do all my recaps on my MacBook. So I hope it doesn't bother you guys. And if it does, I'm really sorry. Like, hopefully the next episode of Vampire Diaries, I'm doing a regular video. Like, this is a regular video, but on a nice quality camera, and it's not just on my MacBook. So let's just get started with reviewing this episode. The episode starts off with Damon. He's like, what do you mean Elena doesn't want to see me? What do you mean she got compelled? And then Stefan's like, yeah, she kind of got compelled by a lark. And he's like, alright, so I'm just gonna go into her dorm room. And she's like, no, she's like, Elena, I swear to God, you need to open this door. I'm gonna knock it down. And I'm like, this is making me so sad. I don't know if it was making you guys sad. Was it making you guys sad that she like didn't open it? And then when she finally unlocked it, she vanishes, like she just leaves, and I'm like, no, Elena. He was so adorable because the first thing he says, he's like, hey, it's me, I just want to talk, and I'm like, oh, it's so sad because if you were to think about it, he's like super excited. All he wants to do is just see the love of his life. Then we go to Enzo and Zach is what I wrote in my notes, but Enzo and Matt, and Enzo's probably like, so when are you gonna get me out of here, mate? Because your friends are kind of next if you don't get me out of here. And he's like, we'll see. And then we go to Matt going to talk to Caroline and Alaric, and he's like, I didn't know which vampires we liked and didn't like. Like, what? I've never even met this guy before. She's like, well, we need to go save Enzo. This is a save Enzo plan. She's like, we need to bust him out of here. And then Stefan walks in, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of my fault that he's in there. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of my fault. Then we go to Alaric and Damon. It's the first time being reunited, and it's really cute. But like, there was a scene there that I really liked, like a line that Damon said. Of course, Damon always has the best lines, and it was, she wouldn't want to be uncompelled if she didn't know what she doesn't know. She's like, and then he's like, the chicken and the egg, you know. And I just thought that was hilarious. So then we move on over to, what is her name? Jo. And Elena checks her coffee, and she's like, is this a French vanilla latte? It tastes amazing, but there's no vervain in it. And then she's like, oh, that's such a pretty necklace. What is it made out of? She's like, I don't know, you nosy ass girl. And then Joe's like, yeah, can you stop sniffing my coffee? I know who you are. Get off my tip. And then she's like, oh, you know what I am? And she's like, yeah, and I also know what a lark is. She's like, wait, so if you're not drinking vervain, what are you? Are you a witch? Because only witches cannot be compelled. And I didn't know that witches couldn't be compelled. Did you guys know that? Like, I could have sworn Bonnie was compelled, but I guess not. I didn't know witches couldn't be compelled. That's something new. Like not that it's not new, because it's never happened. I feel like they've never told us that witches can't be compelled. That's my question for you guys. Have they mentioned that before on the show? So then we go to Damon being all depressed and lonely in Elena's bedroom. And I think it's adorable how there's all those pictures like, well, there's really nothing of me up in here. And he grabs like the picture of Elena's graduation picture and he draws like a little figurine, like a little vampire figurine. It was so freaking adorable to me. I was like, oh, that is so cute. And then poor Jeremy, he walks in there and he's like, why didn't Bonnie come back? He's like, she wasn't there, Jeremy. Like, she wasn't there, you know. Bonnie wasn't there because she found peace, and I thought that was so cute because he really didn't need that. It's just so sad. Like, I feel like Jeremy kind of needs to get over himself because he's lost so many girlfriends, but at the end of this episode, he really cracked, and you could really tell that he's really hurting. But he lost it at the end, which is really good because he just needed to let that go. He had all that anger built up inside that it finally just came out and he just exploded, which kind of makes me seem like we're never going to see Bonnie again. Just like, that's kind of our little closure to that, and honestly was making me tear up because I want to see Bonnie again. I want to know, did Damon bring back the stylist thing with him, or did it stay that she could eventually come back? When Damon calls Bonnie, his like voice was like, really, those are the last 6 words of your like that you left behind. He's like, I'm in your room, which sounds less weird than it actually is. I'm sorry, other than that, I don't know what to say, but thank you. I don't know what else to say, but I might actually really miss you. And I was just in tears. It was just horrible. Elena finally calls Damon. He's like, all right, I think we need to talk. And then when you think all luck is here and Delena's about to happen, Trip wants to walk up in here and just dagger Damon with all his vervain darts and with his like 2 homeboys that he has with him. I was like, where did you get these 2 clowns? And why isn't Matt one of them? And then it's like, bang, bang, Damon's going down. And then Damon's like, I came back for this. He wakes up in a bus, and it's like, this is a kidnap van. Like, we're kids that are being kidnapped right now, because that's exactly what it looks like. Trip is totally portraying, like, the kidnapper man. Like, wakes up, and he sees Enzo, and he's like, oh, I love their little reunion. He said, I knew you would find a way, and I thought that was so cute. And he said, Stefan could have told me that there was a hunter. And then he said, why would he? He's the reason I'm here. And he's like, why? He must be jealous of my accent. I'm so jealous of Enzo's accent. I love it. Just found out that he doesn't actually talk like that in real life. He like tweeted something about that, and I was like, oh, look, I've never met him. He's like one of the people at Vampire Diaries that I've never met. And everyone's like, people got mad at me at a convention because it's not my real accent. I love the way he says, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I can't say it. Lark says, like, I'm gonna pretend that my car's like broken down. So he's like, hey, my car broke down. Can you help me out? He's like, yeah, actually, I'm on a rush. He's like, so am I. Bam, and breaks his window open. You're just like, oh, okay. And he pulls him out, and then and then he's like, I gotta go. And he like drives off, and they go over the borderline. And then Stefan's just staring at it like this. I'm like, dude, you're a vampire. You can at least run in there just like 2 seconds. And he's just like, and I'm like, hello, react. He's like, I gotta go. Everyone's over the borderlines. So he walks on. He like breaks the thing open. He starts pulling Enzo and Damon out. And I loved how he helped Enzo because it's like his way of saying sorry to him. And then thank God for Joe. And this is the first time we thank a standard character that's not like one of the main characters. And she comes in there and she saves Alaric's life. That was one of my favorite scenes as well. Like the fact that she like saved his life. Like a normal person would, like a human way. It was just great because she had no magic. This whole time, I completely forgot that like the compulsion is gonna go away now that he's dead. I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna really miss Alaric if this happens. It's so unfair because we just got him back and now we're gonna lose him. But then he wakes up and it's so great and you're just like, oh, Joe, you are a fantastic doctor. This is why you're a doctor, like for once. There's a great doctor in here. So she saves him and they take him to the Mystic Falls Hospital. And it's all great. And at this point, I'm just clueless of the fact that the compulsion's not going to ever come back. And I'm just like, oh, it's so sad. He's alive, but he's not a vampire anymore. And I'm like, oh, that's sad. But then I realized, because since he was an original vampire, if you guys know like the storyline that's going on in the originals right now, I was like, oh, it all makes sense of why they took his original list away. Because then that storyline wouldn't make sense of what they're doing over there if there was still an original floating around in Mystic Falls. They call Caroline and they're telling her like, oh, and she's like, yeah, I'll tell her. She's like, everyone's fine, but Alaric went over the borderlines, but he's fine, but he's human now. They're like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, I don't get why you're doing a big deal. Like, we should be thankful that he's alive. And I was like, girl, you so dumb. The Alaric, the compulsion's gone. Do you not understand this, Andrea? And I wrote that in my notes. I was like, I just realized this till now. Great. So now Alina's never going to remember Damon, but I think there's a way. I feel like they're going to kiss, and it's going to be like True Love's kiss. I feel like it's going to end up being like True Love's kiss, and then they're going to remember everything. Or they're going to pass that borderline for 2 seconds so you can get that compulsion out. Like, just like the fact, like right there, that's what I was always talking about. Like, that bit that Stefan walked over those borderlines. I feel like if Alina walks over those borderlines that much, she'd remember Matt dropping off Sarah at the Salvatore boarding house, and you're just like, Sarah, the brothers are back, so you're gonna have to evacuate sooner or later. And then Matt's like, your uncles are stuffing Dim and Salvatore, but wherever they go, death and pain always follow them. So if you're looking for a family, I'd go far away from here because they're not the best family in the world. Stefan sees Caroline, he runs out, and he's like, Caroline's like, oh, am I the last stop on your Stefan Salvatore apology tour? She's like, no. It's like, can we just be friends again? She's like, yeah, the one problem is I don't want to be friends with you again. I was like, but you love him. Why do you say that? And then we go to the last ending, which I didn't really get much. Like, I would have wanted more out of it. It's just Damon and Elena once again being one outside the door. Damon's outside. She's inside. She's looking through everything in the box. He knocks, and all that happens is she opens the door, and they just look at each other. And it's like, the Vampire Diaries. I was like, can we get some more, though? So I'm kind of excited for next week because it looks like Damon's going to be a little jealous. She told him that her ex-boyfriend's dead, and then she's like, oh, look, my ex-boyfriend's back. So I don't know, like, do you think she compels him? I don't know. But the question that I have for you guys is did you guys always know that witches cannot be compelled? Also, make sure to comment below all your guys' opinions on this episode. I love hearing what you guys have to say about Vampire Diaries too. So make sure you guys comment below. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more recaps and more videos from this space. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye everyone. Sorry if I look like a hot mess. It's 4 in the morning. Bye.